Welcome, everyone, back. If you were with me for This Week Astrology and you're joining again, welcome back. Hello, Bot. Nice to see you. You're first. Casmar second. Kelsey third. Wow, my lucky day. Thank you for joining me yet again for a live stream. Today is our new moon in Aquarius. So it's time to set some new intentions. We're going to talk all about this new moon and how you can make the most of it. So do enjoy. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to do readings for every single sign using a new deck. We're actually going to be using the Moon and Stars Tarot by Jane Wallace. So that'll mix things up a little bit, doing things a little bit differently around here. But let's talk about Aquarius. So in the tarot, you got, hey, Regan, nice to see you. Hey, Gayla, nice to see you. Thank you for returning. So Aquarius is connected with three major arcana cards. So you got 78 cards in the tarot, 22 of which are major arcana. And the major arcana cards will either have a planetary reference, i.e. Saturn, Mercury, Venus, or an astrological reference, Aquarius, Aries, Capricorn, etc. Now, Aquarius, the only astrological reference for Aquarius in the major arcana is the star card. So whenever life is really, really difficult and then you get the star card, things are going to be easier. It's analogous to the myth of Pandora's box. Once Pandora opened her box, all of her ills escaped and all that remained was hope. So when you get the star card in a reading, it's the dawning of a new day. You're going to be inspired. And you get this sense of freedom that life is actually going to be a lot brighter than you had anticipated. Now, the World card, our last major arcana card in the tarot, I guess some people might say the Fool is, but that's zero. So you could say the Fool or the universe / the world. But the World doesn't have an astrological reference, but it has a planetary reference. And its planetary reference is Saturn. And the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. So the World connects with Aquarius as well. It's about understanding your limitations and then being able to maximize your creative potential. So you're like, okay, well, I can do this, but I can't do that. And there you have the World, which is about limitations, but also working within those limitations and dancing like the lady in the middle of your World card. And then you have the Fool. Now, the Fool card does not have an astrological reference, but it has a planetary reference, which is Uranus. So Uranus is all about freedom. It's about unpredictability and really going out on a limb, taking a risk, being unpredictable. And the Fool is card 0. And really, when you're trying to create a new reality, you want to create from the field. You don't want to base your new reality on stuff that's happened. You want to imagine anything is possible, right? In order to do that, you sort of have to be a zero. You have to allow yourself to be nothing, right? So if you're in this space of being nothing, no one, and nowhere, you can do anything. Whereas if you're not like the Fool, you're basing your future on your past, which is foolish if you want to do something that you've never done before, right? So with the Fool card, you want to go out on a limb this new moon. You want to imagine what it feels like. What if I was nothing? What if I wasn't a teacher, a student, a brother, a sister, a mother, an aunt, whatever? What if you were nothing? Because when you're nothing, you can be everything. So keep that in mind. These three major arcana cards. Now, David Bowie, Capricorn, he actually had an Aquarius rising, and he sang this song Starman in the 70s. And he speaks about this Starman is in the sky who'd like to meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. So what you can do in terms of law of attraction that might be super helpful this Aquarius new moon is imagine that there is a version of you in space living their best, most awesome life, whatever it is that you want. Say you want a new job. Well, there's a version of you in space loving that job, really enjoying that work. Or maybe you want to fall madly, deeply, passionately in love. Well, there's a version of you in space that is doing that. whatever it is that you want, you can create in your mind's eye a vision of a version of you in space doing that. And then what you want to do is start relating to that energy. You want to start mimicking that energy, identifying that energy, calibrating your body to that energy. How does that version of you walk? How does that version of you move? What is the energy around that entity? Because if you are focusing on the future, the star Aquarius, you're going to be able to create a really great future. Whereas in reality, what most of us do, we romanticize the past. And that's not practical. You want to romanticize and fall in love with your future so you can go there, right? Because what you focus on grows. If you're focused on the past, you're going to get more of the past. If you're focused on the future, you're going to be able to reach your goals. So keep the Starman song in mind with David Bowie. He had a really, really interesting chart. He had, as you see over here, an Aquarius rising, even though he was a Capricorn. And he had his sun and Mars in Capricorn in the 12th house, which would make sense as to why he needed to create this alter ego. Because with the 12th house, you kind of want to, you're feeling everything, right? You're connected to everyone and everything, but you kind of want to be alone, right? You want to hibernate. And that obviously conflicts because he has his moon in Leo, but that moon in Leo is so close to Saturn. So it's likely with Saturn so close to the moon that his mother may have been very proud of him, Leo moon. However, her energy was restricted. She may have been cut off from him when he was younger. I don't know his backstory, but Saturn next to the moon is not fun, especially with the Leo moon, because that Leo moon is very, very, it's very affectionate. It's very loving. It's very, very showy. And then with Saturn cuts things off, right? So most likely he had a really good, strong relationship with his mother, but with Saturn there, it was restricted or cut off. But yeah, he had a great chart. But that 3-degree Aquarius rising is really, really key. Really, really key. Because Aquarius can become whoever they want to be more than the other signs. Because Aquarius has a certain degree of detachment. So they're not beholden to their history. They can do whatever they want. And he did, right? In order to be a voice in the world, he created multiple identities. Not just Ziggy Stardust, but Bowie created a lot of different identities. In any case, definitely think about this new moon, that starman in the sky, or that star woman in the sky, and think about what it is that the ideal you is experiencing. Think about what you want and see that version of yourself living out that life, and focus on him, focus on her as much as you can. And that'll really be helpful. And think about these cards, right? Go out on a limb, start something completely new. Take care of your commitments with the World card, but keep your eyes on the future. Keep your eyes on the future. So let's talk about the implications this new moon. We do have quite a few squares. We do. Squares are a little bit awkward. There might be things over the next 2 weeks that really demand your attention. It might be a little bit challenging because the Aquarius energy is very like, what's new? What's next, right? But with all of these squares, there's probably going to be certain things that you're going to have to tend to. That's okay. That's okay. Because in taking care of business, so to speak, you're going to allow yourself to lead up to your long-term plans and goals. But you want to stay grounded with these squares, and they actually might switch things up. Squares do create change. They demand change. So squares can make things happen. So definitely expect there to be some kind of changes over the next 2 weeks that are helping you to get on track. So the new moon, meaning, if you don't know, it's a time for initiation, attracting, and manifesting. It's a period to plant and nurture seeds of desire set forth for the cycle ahead. So you plant some seeds this new moon, the fulfillment of them you'll see in the summertime, right? When the sun is in Leo, and we'll have our corresponding full moon in Aquarius, in which the seeds that you plant this new moon will sprout to the ultimate capacity when you get your full moon in Aquarius, when the sun is in Leo this summertime, August. So Additionally, though, you may see evidence of your manifestations, things starting to sprout within 2 weeks of February 9th. So keep that in mind. Additionally, you want to find out where 20 degrees of Aquarius falls in your chart. That's where there's a new beginning afoot for you. We're going to ballpark it in this video when we do your Tarotscopes, but you want to find out where 20 degrees of Aquarius is. We got three aspects. Well, I got a lot more than three, but three aspects we're going to focus on. The closest ones: Mercury will square Jupiter this new moon. So again, squares require change. Mercury's communication. Jupiter is about expansion. So this square is going to challenge us to balance big ideas with practical application, pushing for thoughtful communication and realistic expansion. So with Mercury square Jupiter, you might have all these ideas, but there's also this sense of, well, how can I do this? I don't have the time, or I have to do this and I have to do that, right? So something is probably going to shift, and you're going to have to make new priorities in order for your goals to be made manifest. So it's all about making sure that your expansion is supported by the structures that you have in your life, right? So definitely take care of those things that need taken care of, and that's going to make your path a lot easier. We also have the moon squaring Uranus, the sun and moon, of course, but the moon squaring Uranus, bringing unexpected emotional insights and changes, urging us to embrace flexibility and innovation in our personal lives. So we may get an understanding of why we do the things we do. We create our own reality. So if we're in a situation that sucks, we have to look at ourselves and be like, okay, well, why did I create this? Because you're creating it, even though on the surface it sucks, you're creating it for some reason. Because although on the surface behavior might not seem logical, it's psychological because there's a logic to the psyche. So you may get some insight into your emotional makeup, and you can just say, you know what, I've been playing this story over my head the longest time. I need a new story. So definitely stay tuned for some emotional insights. That should be really interesting. And lucky enough for us, Jupiter's going to sextile Saturn. This is the aspect we're going to focus on for your Tarotscopes. So Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, and Saturn is about structure. Jupiter's in Taurus, Saturn is in Pisces. They're sextiling this new moon. This is going to harmonize growth with discipline, offering a fertile ground for long-term achievements through steady effort and wise planning. So Aquarius is definitely fast, right? But you want to really consider your long-term plans. What do you need to do, right? Because in focusing on your responsibilities and expanding those, expanding and perfecting what you already have on your plate, that might be the easiest thing to do this new moon. With all of these squares, chances are that your plans might not go swimmingly, right? There might be conflicts, there might be change. So you want to go where there is a flow of energy. And if you are having trouble dealing with these new things that you want to accomplish, well, just keep your eyes on the prize and finish off those tasks that have already been put into effect. Because you actually could right now, with Saturn, there's a certain level of structure and discipline. You can expand those projects and you can finalize them and reach a lot of success. So keep focused on what you're having to accomplish, and definitely enjoy that, though, because it's going to be a lot of fun. You're not liking Aquarius? What's not to like about Aquarius? Everybody likes Aquarius. That's not true. I think everything, there's a lot of things to like about Aquarius. I'm sorry you feel that way, Bot. In any case, this Aquarius new moon is pretty cool. Got a lot of stuff that's going on. You got Venus, which is making a semi-square to the moon. That's a close aspect. So a semi-square is like that next door neighbor. Like you don't really care about them. They don't bother you, but they just exist. And that can be a little irritating, but it's usually not a big deal. It's a very minor aspect. You also have a wonderful sextile between the sun and moon in Aquarius with the north node in Aries. That's really nice. So there's a link between your hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals, Aquarius, with the North Node of Destiny in Aries, which is about leadership. So if you build it, they will come. And of course, we have that gorgeous sextile between Jupiter and Saturn. We also have Mercury in Aquarius. That is making a square. Again, you want to give yourself extra time for your projects this new moon, just because there's a lot of squares. And squares get stuff happening. They get things done, but they often require conflict. So look at it square in the face, do what you need to do. And again, we're going to focus on that beautiful Saturn and Jupiter sextile. So we're going to start with Aries. So Aries, this new moon, of course, is hitting your 11th house. So you want to plant seeds for your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. Think big, think long-term. What is the best case scenario for the different areas of your life? What is it that you want? And you may want to, this new moon, join groups of like-mindedness, people who can help you achieve your goals. There's a power of the collective that is available to you now, Aries. So maybe your groups can help you achieve your ends. And even if they don't even know what your ideals are or what you want, it's that energy of having a group of people that are in your corner. And that's really what friends do. They're in your corner. A real friend is going to want you to achieve your goals, and they're going to celebrate you along the way. So this is a wonderful opportunity, Aries, for you to make some new friends, to double down with the friends that you have. It's a great time for you to join some groups, tap into that positive energy of the collective. And Aries, you have a sextile between the second house of money and your 12th house of spirituality. So you actually could enhance your income this new moon through spiritual pursuits. And you might find meaning by helping. So, of course, you want to help people. Don't look at it as a monetary end, but there could be a nice sweet spot between you tapping into your spirituality, helping others, and your income. And also, if there's something that you can do spiritually for people, or doing something to help people with their spirituality, etc., well, that's a way for you to express yourself, right? Because the second house is about your natural talent. So there's a link between your income and your spirituality. I'd also say that by utilizing your natural gifts, which is a second house thing, you are serving the universe, right? It's very, very spiritual. So think about how your voice and what you contribute to the world is actually adding value. Because the second house is about adding value. The 12th house is about the collective. It's about spirituality. Also, I would say with the second house, 12th house sextile, visualize what you want in terms of self-expression, in terms of money. This is a wonderful link there. With this sextile involving this 12th house, do not think negatively, especially about money. So let's see, Aries, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon with our new deck, the Moon and Stars Tarot deck. So wisdom for Aries this new moon. Wisdom for Aries this new moon. Wisdom for Aries this new moon. All right, Nine of Swords. So what this is about is, okay, these new moons are not always going to be like, oh, charge your head, move forward. You might get a glimpse of stuff that needs to change. And this is Nine of Swords. So essentially, you got to get out of your trauma. You got to get out of your trauma and heal it, let it go, get over it, whatever you need to do to heal and go on to this next story, right? You don't want to superimpose the past on the future. And that's what Nine of Swords is telling us. So get out of your head, do what you can to really visualize yourself living the ideal life that you could possibly live and mimic that, right? Let go of the past. Don't obsess. Don't worry about things. Remember, there's a starman in the sky, right? So you want to focus on that ideal self that is living her or his best life. And don't worry about things. Watch out for the anxiety. Stay in the present moment. With Nine of Swords, we have anxiety. So we're usually too focused on the future, worried about the future, obsessing about the past. Stay in the present. That is where you have the most power. And happy new moon, Aries. So Taurus, happy new moon, Taurus. Your new moon is hitting your 10th house. So professionally, things could go really, really well. If you go get that trophy you get a new beginning, this new moon, Taurus, in your career. So think about how you might want to start fresh professionally. And you might have some really inventive ideas. This could be a really great new moon for you to say, okay, I'm in a job right now, but where might I want to be come summertime, right? Plant those seeds. Taurus is all about stability. It's all about status quo. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But Uranus has been in your sign, Taurus. So you know what change is all about. That change is imminent if you haven't experienced it yet. If your life hasn't already been turned upside down, with Uranus in your sign, change is definitely it's apparent for you until spring when Jupiter, well, even after that actually, but when Jupiter enters Gemini, that's going to be really interesting. You're going to then be able to capitalize on any of the changes that you've experienced. In any case, you have a sextile this new moon between your first house and your 11th house, between Jupiter and Saturn. So this is going to boost your self-growth through community ties. You may want to be a leader in your community. Maybe you have a group of people and you need to lead them. They need to hear what you have to say. I'd also say that maybe a career opportunity could come to you through your contacts, through a group. So definitely assert yourself. Your hopes and your dreams and your wishes are very, very strong this new moon. So I would say professionally, in light of your 10th house transit, let what you want to do be known. Let your friends know what's going on. Because what you could do is talk to your friends and be like, well, I'm at this stage of my career. I have a lot of transferable skills. I'm not sure what I want to do. Use your network. Because in asserting yourself, first house, and talking about what it is that you want, you can let the collective help you. Well, I don't know, but I know somebody who works here. Maybe I can send them your resume. Definitely tap into that energy of the group, especially professionally, and really consider too, I would say, with the first house, which aligns with you taking action, you might have so many great skills that this could be a really great time for you to consider a side hustle or to break out in your own with entrepreneurship. That is very possible too. But there's a lot of really cool energy between you being really front and center, connecting with your group, and moving forward professionally. So let's see what wisdom. Also, yeah, thank you, Gayla. You could actually also join like some professional organization this new moon. That might help you as well. There's some really great stuff with the collective. So definitely don't be looking for new career moves in a vacuum or in a bubble, right? You want to go out there, rub elbows with the right people. So let's see, Taurus, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon. Wisdom for Taurus. Listen to Taurus. Ooh, perfection. I like it. So 8 of Pentacles, Taurus, is about things coming along very nicely, right? It's like that garden you have, right? You've just been religiously watering it and feeding it and nurturing it, right? And before you know it, you wake up one day and your garden is gorgeous. And that's what the 8 of Pentacles is about. It's about you being prudent and cautious and careful and tending to your garden and really able to back up and see things from a bigger picture perspective, from that space of everything's coming along nicely. So this is a very good card for you. I would say that the advice is to take it slow. Sometimes the 8 of Pentacles is about learning a new skill to advance yourself. So think about your professional life, right? What training could you get that could make you more competitive, that can get you the best job possible? And be careful and cautious. Think of the overall view. Everything is falling into place. What you're doing now, even if it's not exactly what you want to be doing in the future, it has its place. So be prudent, be cautious, and see things from a higher vantage point, because this could be a really good new moon for you, especially if you are prudent. So follow your course, do the right thing, and like we said before, let other people help you, because it looks like they will. And happy new moon, Taurus. Gemini. So Gemini, Happy new moon. This new moon is hitting your 9th house. That's pretty awesome. So you're able to expand your perspective by exploring new ideas. So this is a new moon for you, Gemini, in which you might have itchy feet. You might be like, oh, I'm so bored. Not you, Gemini, right? But you may want to get out of your normal surroundings. You may want to expand your mind. So this could be a time for you to start planning a trip for the summer. It might be a time in which you're thinking, okay, I got to expand my horizons. Maybe you're going to go back to school. Maybe you're going to take classes. Maybe you're going to do a deep dive into a subject like law or philosophy or religion or spirituality. But you need to go on a trip, either metaphorically or literally, to expand your mind and your perspective to see things from a higher vantage point. Now, there's a wonderful opportunity between your 12th house of spirituality and your career. So you could actually make a lot of gains this new moon by working on your inner self, right? This could be about visualizing what you want professionally. And it also is about perhaps you understanding people so much more than you had before with that 12th house. And you're going to be able to take that in regard to your leadership opportunities. You're going to be able to take your understanding of the collective and apply them to wherever you lead. So there's a wonderful opportunity for you professionally, definitely with that 12th house. Meditate, get some downtime. I would say with the 12th house, 10th house sextile, definitely allow yourself those moments in which you're doing nothing, or you're getting extra sleep, or you're dialing it down a bit. Because the more you allow yourself to connect with your spirituality, your inner being, your higher power, that is going to help you professionally. There's a link between your spirituality and your professional life. So definitely tap into that cool energy. And let's see, Gemini, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon. Wisdom for Gemini. Prospects. I love it. So Page of Pentacles. This card is called Prospects. So you get a lot of prospects right now, which makes sense with your sextile that you have in that 10th house, but also with the 9th house. It's about expansion and it's about growth. So the big thing is with the Page of Pentacles, be really very practical, but on a small level. So with the Page of Pentacles, think about, imagine you're just getting out of school. You're just getting out of high school. You're just getting out of college. What is your next move? Are you going to be exploring different possibilities? Are you going to be learning something else to further your abilities, to further your competitive nature in the marketplace, etc.? Page of Pentacles is all about tapping into those easy peasy practical things that you can do to better your life. So if it's about the 9th house on a practical level, well, how can you connect your career, right, with your expansion? Maybe with the Page of Pentacles, you're going to get a job that allows you to travel, or you could get a job that allows you to learn. Maybe they'll fund your education. But look for practical opportunities in which there is a really nice balance. Maybe there's a quid pro quo. But with Page of Pentacles, there's definitely prospects around you for your goals and your dreams. So think practically and look at how you provide value and how people could provide value for you. But enjoy your new moon. I think that's going to be really cool, Gemini. So Cancer, happy new moon, Cancer. So Cancer, it's an 8th house transit. So even if it's a new moon, there may be some kind of endings, some kind of letting go with the 8th house. And there's a new beginning for you in terms of intimacy and boundaries. So the 8th house has to do with rules. It has to do with rules and boundaries that you set or boundaries that you dissolve. And when we're talking about intimacy, it could be intimacy sexually. It could be intimacy in terms of blending finances or merging finances with somebody or going into business with somebody. But the 8th house is all about boundaries, where you say, yes, come in closer and let's blend, let's meld together. Or you say, nope, I end here, you end there. So if something empowers you, you move in closer. If something's disempowering you, undermining your self-worth, well, you set a boundary. But there's new beginnings here. So this could be a really nice time for you to determine, okay, well, where do I need to move in closer? Maybe it's going to be advantageous for you to go into business with somebody, or to blend resources or combine resources with somebody. Likewise, it might be time to call it quits. The 8th house also has to do with rules. It rules taxes. So you want to follow your rules, right? Find out what rules are important for you to follow and then follow them. And there's a beautiful sextile between your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals, also friends, like-minded people, and your expansion. So this could be a really great opportunity for you to expand and grow, especially if you have a business, through groups. Definitely connect with the power of the group and really look at how you might be able to connect with some people who share your dreams. There's a wonderful blend of energy here. You may also want to go on a group trip. 11th house is a group. 9th house is about travel. This could be about you going on a trip to a foreign land with a group of people, a road trip. Well, not a road trip. 9th house would be a long distance travel. Also, I'd say anything that can connect you with the group based upon your beliefs, right? So maybe this could be church, right? You all believe the same thing and you can tap into that energy of the community. And there's a wonderful opportunity there between the group and your expansion. And with the 8th house new moon, Cancer, it might be a matter of you need to let something go or delve into something more deeply in order for you to achieve a lot this new moon. I would say the big thing for you, Cancer, with the 8th house, you got to make a decision. Is it a big yes or is it a big no? Are you saying coming closer, dissolving a boundary? Are you saying back up, no, setting a boundary? So consider that this new moon. And let's see what wisdom you get, Cancer, for your new moon in Aquarius. Wisdom for Cancer. 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 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so the big thing for you, Cancer, with 5 of Pentacles is you need to let go of 8th house, anything that makes you feel bad, anything that undermines your sense of self-worth. Do not kill yourself this new moon. We have a lot of squares that are going on. You're always sensitive to the moon anyway, when it's new or when it's full. So you got to give yourself a break, right? With the 5 of Pentacles, don't feel as if you have to effort and try too much, because whenever we effort or push, what is that doing? But that's speaking that you're in a state of lack. So don't try too hard. Take it down a notch and allow yourself to relax, and definitely focus on your throat chakra. Focus on your throat chakra. Take a beat. Don't try to make things happen if it's not going to be easy this new moon. You don't want to push yourself too hard. And you also don't want to equate your productivity with your self-worth. I understand how easy it is to do that, but you want to overcompensate this new moon and really create beliefs that are empowering for you. I would make a list of all the things that you bring to the table, all the things that you've accomplished, because you need a high dose of self-esteem this transit. So keep that in mind. Oh, your hubs is a Cancer? That's cool. He's very sweet. Most Cancers are. Leo! Happy new moon, Leo, in your opposite sign. So this is going to be fun for you, Leo. It's a 7th house new moon. So you get a new beginning in terms of your partnerships, be them romantic or professional, and you get to infuse them with inventive ideas. So this could be a great time for you to empower your partnerships that you're in and tap into the energy of creativity with your partners. Or maybe it's a matter of like, you really need a new tennis buddy, or maybe you need a new romantic partner, or maybe you need a new study pal, whatever it might be. This is a new moon for you to really tap into the relationships that are going to really help you. And it's a nice opportunity for you to balance that. Meanwhile, there's some really cool things going on in your career with the 8th house, with that sextile between your 10th house of status and your 8th house of rebirth. So it looks like, Leo, there's some kind of ending, and that is going to help you go to that next level professionally. Maybe you're forgetting about any insecurities you have and you're letting it rip. You're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to care about this anymore. I'm going to go out on a limb and start my own business. Or maybe you're really over a particular job that you're in or career that you're in. You're like, you know what? I can't do it. I got to get out of here by summer, whatever it might be. There's a wonderful link between your 10th house and your 8th house. It also could be a matter of you have a partner of some sort, right? Or somebody you're connected to who can actually help you get ahead. Because the 8th house has to do with other people's resources, and the 10th house is about your status. So you can actually gain from other people's resources this new moon. I would also really collaborate. You get collaboration all over here with your 8th house, with your 7th house, Leo. And I would say that collaborate especially with people in regard to your career. Like really think about this new moon and what's going to make you the most happy and who might be able to help get you there. Sometimes if you just ask, right? So we're not reinventing the wheel. If there's something that you would like to do, chances are somebody else has already done it. They've made their mistakes. You can learn from those mistakes. So I would go out on a limb and really talk to people about your ambitions, whatever it is that you want to achieve, even if it's a relationship. I would think with all these aspects interplaying, you could actually find a new relationship through somebody that you're already connected to, or really through your career, which I know is a little bit iffy. But it's definitely a time to connect with others. And let's see what wisdom you get from the tarot, Leo, for your new moon in Aquarius. Ooh, a card fell. 2 cards fell. 3 cards fell. The Tower, the High Priestess, and 4 of Wands. Oh, no, excuse me, 10 of Cups. Interesting. But we'll put that back in. We'll see if it comes out again. That would be interesting. So let's see. Wisdom for Leo for your new moon in Aquarius. Wisdom for Leo. 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 Oh, the Fool! So this is great, Leo. You get to go out on a limb this new moon. The Fool is all about being nothing, right? We often get tied to our identities. I'm a teacher, or I'm a parent, or I'm a grandfather, whatever it might be. And in being held to those roles, they can sometimes box us in. So the Fool card would indicate that you need to go out on a limb. You need to allow yourself to be nothing. Because then when you're nothing, you can be everything. So consider that. I also think with the Fool card, it's about a brand new beginning in which you'll never do anything the same again. I think in light of this being a 7th house transit for you, there might be a brand new relationship for you, or some really great new thing that happens that you've never experienced before professionally. But I would say that in terms of your relationships with the Fool card, definitely seek knowledge about whatever it is that you do not know about your relationship, and allow yourself to take a new step, like a new fresh beginning in terms of relationships. And don't base your future relationships on your past ones. Remember, get that vision of like that ideal relationship for you. What does it look like? How are you experiencing it? How does it make you feel? So I would say a new beginning for you in relationships. And with the Fool card, I would say expect the unexpected, and happy new moon. When the fall out of a deck, what does it mean? It means that I'm clumsy. I'm clumsy and that I had too much coffee, typically. They also say what falls to the floor knocks the door. So sometimes those cards can be apropos. I had a reading one time in which the cards went everywhere. And then the psychic who was reading me was like, we're going to read these cards. And I didn't like that. I kind of wanted to do the typical way. When I have a reading and cards fall to the floor, I take note of them, but I don't necessarily read them. But usually they say what falls to the floor knocks at the door, or that I've had too much coffee, one or the other. So Virgo, happy new moon, Virgo. New moon is hitting your 6th house. This is the house your sign rules, so this should be good for you. The 6th house has to do with our day-to-day operations, the nuts and bolts of our daily lives. It's really about our health, our work, our habits. So you wake up in the morning, you have your toast, you brush your teeth, you go to your car. That is your daily regime. If you work out, if you have salad at lunch, if you wind up having a snacky snack at 4 p.m., etc. It's your habits, your daily routines. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to start something new in regard to your 6th house. This could be a new job. This could also be a new workout regime, a new diet, something new to help you throughout your day-to-day. Because again, what we do every day, right, is what leads to what we achieve in life. So if you want to change your life, well, change your habits. And you might even experience some new training. Maybe you're training your vibration. Maybe you're like, okay, I want this kind of new experience in life. And I know in order to do that, I'm going to have to make the familiar, the past, unfamiliar. And I'm going to have to make the unfamiliar, the preferable future, familiar. So maybe you're in training your vibration. That would be a great way to experience this new moon. There's also a really cool opportunity for you, Virgo, between your 9th house of expansion and your partnerships. So you might partner up with somebody and go on a trip to a foreign land, or you could partner with somebody and go to school. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you're not too keen on taking a class alone, but if your partner joins you, you then get to spend some time with them and learn. But there's a really wonderful link between your relationships and your beliefs. This could be also an opportunity for you to get to know your partner better and realize, okay, well, we both believe the same thing. And because we believe the same thing, that really helps us. It also could be a really great time for you to find a partner who shares your beliefs. That's just going to make your partnerships really, really easy. A sharing of beliefs, a sharing of spirituality. Also, I would say, a mutual desire to expand each other's minds. That could be really good. So I would say also with that 6th house transit for you, Virgo, just think about who you want to be, what you want to do, and what does that look like on a day-to-day basis. You may not be able to implement everything now, but setting the intention now or planting the seeds and visualizing it could be very advantageous. So let's see, Virgo, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Aquarius. Wisdom for Virgo. 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 3 of Cups. I love it. 3 of Cups. So with the 3 of Cups, we're talking about celebrations. There should be some really great celebrations going on around you. 3 of Cups is about abundance, and it's about you taking stock of your abundance. I would say that with the 3 of Cups, in light of your 6th house transit, really consider how you can celebrate on a regular basis. That might be some of your self-care. That might be one habit that you want to implement. I'd also say that it might be easier for you to do things with a group. It might be a matter of maybe you go on a diet with your friends who also want to drop a few pounds or whatever. Or if you want to get in a better shape, it might be good to take a class, right? Anything that involves the group. Because when you get the 3 of Cups, you get people coming together, celebrating their emotions. And this is really going to be advantageous for you. I'd say also just to take stock of your abundance and really look at the people around you that you love and see how they can be implemented into your life. Particularly, how can they help you with your habits? How can they even help you with your work? This could be a matter of you have all of this love and great energy around your friends, and they also might have some good connections for a new job with your 6th house or a new trainer or something that you can do on a regular basis. The 3 of Cups is great. So happy new moon, Virgo. Libra. Happy new moon, Libra. This is a fun moon for you. The 5th house. 5th house is an awesome new moon. So the 5th house is all about things that light you up, that make you feel like lit up like a Christmas tree, lit up, happy, excited, bubbling over with excitement and joy. So it's a wonderful transit. So you may experience this with new romance. There might be a new hobby. You might create something. This could be an artistic project, and it also could be children. You could be having babies. What a wonderful way to spend Valentine's Day week. You also might be creating something. Maybe it's a creative project. But essentially, you're having fun this new moon. And luckily for you, you also have a beautiful sextile between your 8th house and your 6th house. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to let something go, your 8th house, and then while you're at it, implement a new regime that aligns with the new you want to be or the new things you want to experience. In light of your 5th house, well, what habits can you employ on a regular basis that build up your tolerance for joy, for fun? Sometimes in terms of happiness, we really have a threshold. We can only be this happy or we can only be this joyful. Well, with the 8th house, it looks like you're going to be letting something go. And with that release, you're going to be able to do something different on a regular basis. You could be letting go of a job, 8th house, and then you're going to get a new job with your 6th house. Or you could be letting go of something that was a time waster, and then you're going to start working out more or whatever. But there's a wonderful link between letting go and your daily regime. So what do you need to release in your life? And what do you want to implement on a regular basis? Is it a new regime? Is it a new job? What new habits are going to really help you to express yourself more and make it a habit of being lit up all the time? That could be another thing. But with that 8th house, there's definitely going to be gains by releasing and letting something go, even if it's a limiting belief. So let's see, Libra, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon. Wisdom for Libra. Wisdom for Libra. Wisdom for Libra. Wisdom for Libra. 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 I love it. The Empress. Perfect card for you. The Empress is connected to Venus, right? And you're ruled by Venus. So the Empress is all about nourishment, right? And it's all about abundance. It's about joy, really. When something new comes into your life and brings you great joy, the Empress is the vehicle for that something. So this is really good. With the Empress, something new is going to be born that brings you great joy. Think about what it is that you need to do to nourish yourself. So you're a good mother, right? But also when you are overflowing with love and abundance, it takes nothing out of you to nourish other people. And that's what the Empress is. She's the life-giving mother. So consider what new things you want to invoke in your life this new moon, and also really get in touch with your body. The Empress is very, very indulgent. She loves great sex. She loves great exercise. She loves food. Get in touch with your senses. What a wonderful card, though. And happy new moon, Libra, with the Empress. So Scorpio, happy new moon, Scorpio. This new moon is hitting your 4th house. 4th house traditionally is called House of Home and Family, but really it's about what makes you feel warm and cozy inside. How can you tap into the Divine Mother and love and care for yourself better than you ever have before? How can you feel more supported, more cared, more nurtured, and nourished than ever before? That's the goal, Scorpio. So you want to nurture those connections that make you feel supported, secure, loved unconditionally. And you want to focus on emotional security. What makes you feel all tucked in, yummy inside, and taken care of? And you want to definitely make moves this new moon to really double down on your sense of self-care and self-love, that Divine Mother, because that foundation is going to help you accomplish so much. And with the new moon here, there might be new things that you need to do in order to nourish yourself, in order to feel emotionally secure. Maybe it's a new relationship with the Divine Mother within. And there's a wonderful opportunity, actually, between your 7th house of partnerships and your 5th house of pleasure and joy. So this is good, right? is a wonderful sextile between partnerships and pleasure. So sometimes, unfortunately, you meet somebody and they're great to go to the movies with, or they're great to have sex with, or they're great to have good times with, but they make a lousy partner. They're just terrible as a long-term partner. But here, you might actually find somebody who's good in both. They're somebody you can have a great time with, and they're actually also stable. And the reverse can be true as well, right? Sometimes you'll find somebody, they're an amazing partner, but you cannot have fun with them. It's just not fun. And then you get that 7-year itch. But I would say with the 7th house, 5th house sextile that you have going on, you could reignite passion in your relationships. You could find somebody who's really great for you, both romantically and fun-wise, but also on a practical level, right? Because relationships take work and they're about commitment. I'd also say that you could really do great with creative collaborations. So I would look at what makes you have fun, what you enjoy doing, and really maybe collaborate with somebody. I also would say through your hobbies, you could find a partner, or through your partner, you could find a new hobby. There's a wonderful link between your partnerships and your fun. But again, it's all about your emotional security. That's the name of your game, this new moon. What can you do on a regular basis that's going to fill you up with more love and joy and that sense of being taken care of? So let's see, Scorpio, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon. Listen for Scorpio. Listen for Scorpio. Listen for Scorpio. Change. The Fool. I love it. The Fool comes out again for you, which is tied to Uranus as well, which is the contemporary ruler of Aquarius. So the Fool card is about going out on a limb, doing something completely different. Again, this could be a matter of not creating your future from your past, but creating your future, from what's in the field, right? With the Fool card, tap into the energy of being nothing. You know, you're very committed, Scorpio. You're a committed worker. You're a committed parent. You're a committed girlfriend or spouse or whatever. But sometimes you need to just get back to basics. And even though you're going to return back to those roles, it doesn't hurt for you to spend some time thinking, I'm nothing. I'm not a parent. I'm not an employee. I'm nothing. And then from there, you can create whatever it is that you want. But you want to give yourself that permission slip to be nothing, so you can really think about what you want to be, because you can have it all. You can be whatever it is that you want. It's not always at the same time, right? But you can do whatever it is that you want. So don't be afraid to start fresh and go out on a limb, take a risk, and allow yourself to have that change. The Fool card is about brand new experiences obtained, right? Experience and obtained. So go after those new experiences that are going to light you up and make you really happy. But most important, start a new beginning for you this new moon with the Divine Mother within, because you want to feel really emotionally secure. You want to get that emotional foundation in place on which so much more can be built. And happy new moon, Scorpio. Sagittarius, this is going to be a fun new moon for you. You and Aquarius get along famously like peanut butter and chocolate. Sagittarius and Aquarius. And this new moon is hitting your 3rd house. And the 3rd house has to do with everything. It's a lot. Not everything, but it has to do with communications, your mindset, your learning, your teaching, your short distance travels, your neighborhood, your neighbors, your siblings. So you get a new beginning for you with communication and learning. It's a great time for you to communicate your ideas and learn new ones along the way. Sagittarius is not great with the 3rd house, right? Because the 3rd house is connected to Gemini, and Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius usually sees the big picture, like they know it, but it's actually explaining it that Sagittarius is not really good at. And they don't have that much patience. Typically, it's like either you get the big picture or you don't. But this new moon for you, Sag, is about you communicating your grandiose ideas. On another level, since the 3rd house can be so much, it might be about you starting these new communications. Maybe you're sick of going to the same coffee shop all the time, or you're going to start a gym membership at this new gym, or maybe you're going to take a class, right? But there's going to be some kind of new stuff that you do communication-wise. Maybe, Sagittarius, you're going to be talking to yourself in a brand new way. Or maybe you're going to be learning something. Maybe you're going to go on a short distance trip. Maybe you're going to open up some dialogue with yourself and a sibling. Or maybe your neighbors, your neighborhood, etc. And there's a great opportunity between your 6th house of your day-to-day regimes and your 4th house of emotional security. So this is really nice. There's going to be harmony between work and home. This could be a work from home opportunity. So I would say, talk. Maybe it's a matter of finding a new job in which you are able to work from home, or talking to your current supervisors, or making adjustments so you can do that. But it's a really nice opportunity for you to balance productivity with your self-care. I also would say, with the 6th house and the 4th house, there's definitely a link, right? Because the 4th house is about emotional security. It's what makes you feel secure. And the 6th house is about your daily regimes. So if what makes you feel secure is your English muffin smothered with grape jelly and butter, and you do that every single day at 7:15, which is a 6th house thing, it's a habit. But if it makes you feel secure and it's familiar, it's also a 4th house thing. So find out what habits you can employ in your day-to-day life that make you feel more emotionally secure. And think about ways in which your communications on a day-to-day basis can nurture you, right? Maybe you need to meditate every day, or maybe you need to have a conversation with a friend, or maybe you need to go to this shop, whatever it might be. This should be a cool new moon for you. Let's see what wisdom you get, Sagittarius, for your new moon in Aquarius. Wisdom, Sagittarius. Wisdom, Sagittarius. Knight of Swords. This card is called Drama. So the Knight of Swords is about goal-oriented activity, which does make sense with the 3rd house transit, actually. 3rd house is connected to Gemini, so is the Knight of Swords. So usually when the Knight of Swords comes up, this requires fast, competent reactions without much foresight. Oh, this happened? Okay, we got to do this. It's about goal-oriented activity. I would say that with the Knight of Swords, you want to be very deliberate this new moon. If something is causing you trouble and it's more trouble than it's worth, you need to set a boundary and just cut it out of your life. It also could be about a lot of things happening and you're like, okay, got to do this, got to do that, got to do this. Boom, boom, boom. So goal-oriented activity is on the horizon for you. I'd also say, when in doubt, leave it out. There's going to be some stuff that is just not worth your time and your consideration. And usually, Sagittarius, you're really good at that. You're not gossipy as a general rule. I would say with the Knight of Swords, if there's anything that you do want, get your blinders on and go after it. But remember, with all the squares that are happening this new moon, you don't expect smooth sailing. There might be some conflict, but again, sometimes that conflict, sometimes those squares actually make things happen. So focus on what you want and disregard the extraneous. A happy new moon. And Capricorn, happy new moon, Capricorn. This new moon is hitting your 2nd house of money, which you love, Capricorn, typically. So this new moon for you in Aquarius could be about fresh income ideas and reevaluating your self-worth concepts. So essentially, the 2nd house has to do with your self-worth. It has to do with your natural talents, your values, and also the money you make. So you have a new beginning here. You might decide that you want to explore a talent that you have. And even if you're not utilizing that talent to make more money, the flow of your talent, the flow of your natural abilities is going to make you more abundant because you're going to be flowing, naturally flowing, and that's going to tap you into your natural state of abundance. So definitely explore your gifts, your possibilities. And you might want to explore new income opportunities. There could be a new job for you or a new side hustle. But I would really focus on your throat chakra, releasing the energy in your throat, seeing how your throat feels, definitely tapping into your natural talents and abilities and to let them flow. Capricorns, for instance, I think are very musical, but because they have so much responsibility, they don't always spend time learning how to play piano or guitar or something like that. So give yourself that ability. On the surface, it might not look like it's practical, but when you start flowing with your natural talents, you're going to make more money, most likely. So, additionally, you have an opportunity between your 5th house and your 3rd house. So the 5th house is about play and your 3rd house is about communication. So this is going to be really cool for you in regard to communication and creativity. And it's about sharing your art and your heart. So that could be a lot of fun for you. I would say with the 5th house, 3rd house, you might decide that you're going to do something on a regular basis, which is a 3rd house thing that's very creative. Or maybe you're going to allow yourself to have a lot more fun with some new communications that you have with other people. It also is a really nice opportunity for you to think in a way that's more creatively. I think 3rd and 5th house could be about communications that are really fun. You could also decide that you're going to go on a short distance trip, 3rd house, for something fun, like that's 5th house. Maybe that is going to Las Vegas, or maybe it is going to an amusement park. But you want to tap into that inner child, whatever lights you up, and start doing things. Go on a trip, connect with your neighbors, another 3rd house thing. Connect with your siblings for things that are creative. That could be really cool for you. So let's see, Capricorn, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon in Aquarius. Wisdom for Capricorn, wisdom for Capricorn, wisdom for Capricorn. The Tower. Oh boy. So I wouldn't look at this as a negative thing. It's about transformation, right? So lightning comes and strikes the table. It relates to the Tower of Babel, in which these guys were so arrogant, they thought they could create a tower to go past God. And God gets pissed off, right? He strikes lightning, he makes everybody talk in tongues, and the tower crumbles down. So when the Tower card comes up, essentially we built something on false premises, right? And we need to rebuild from the ground up. So what towers in your life do not serve you anymore? Meaning what may have been built that's a structure, but really it's not solid at all. And utilize this new moon to say, you know what? I'm getting rid of it. Because after the Tower card, you have the Star card. So what do you need to release in your life and build from scratch on more solid ground? The Tower card is a healing card for you. And it also might be a realization of like, oh, I'm not happy in this job anymore. I've got to quit. I'm not happy in this relationship, etc. But there will probably be a realization, and that realization is okay. Because you don't want to keep building on ground that's not solid. You want to build on something that is more fertile and rich. So don't be afraid to let things go this new moon for a brighter day ahead. Plan for your future and take responsibility for it. And happy new moon, Capricorn. Hey, Ventus Bruma. If you're on the cusp of 2 signs, January 21st for you, how does it affect which reading is in reference to you? Good question. So technically, there's no such thing as cusp, right? Because you're either one sign or another. Usually January 21st is Aquarius, right? It does depend on the year, right? So I would find out when you were born, find the exact time, run your chart, and then you'll actually see, oh, I'm an Aquarius. You probably are an Aquarius. However, if you are an Aquarius or if you're a Capricorn, chances are you actually have some strong Aquarius in your chart or some strong Capricorn in your chart. Mercury, for instance, can either be in your sign or the sign before your sign or a sign after your sign. So I would look at both. But I'd say if you're January 20th, you're an Aquarius, most likely. And I would look at that one. Pay most attention to that, but why not look at both? I don't think it would hurt. I hope that helps. And Aquarius. Well, happy new moon in your sign, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, you're probably either hiding under all the covers in the world, right? You're not really big on a lot of attention. However, you do have that side of you that can be a bit of a ham. So maybe you are jumping out of a cake. Because Aquarians go through 2 extremes. Being alone all the time or wanting to be alone all the time and wanting to be with people all the time. So You might vacillate between the two. In any case, this is a new moon hitting your first house. So it's an opportunity for you to renew your passions and visions for the future. So what do you want to do? This is a new beginning in terms of your identity. So whatever you say, I am, what are you putting after that? And you got new things that you're going to implement into your life. So if you want to be wildly successful, well, I am wildly successful. And you got to align with that. You got to align with this new identity and align also with your new passions. And Aquarius is all about hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals. So think about what future you're building for yourself and plant those seeds. This is a new moon for you. This is your new moon, right? So you want to go out on a limb and you really want to go after those highest, shiniest apples on the tree, because that's really what Aquarius is about. It's about why not? Like if you have a goal or a dream, well, theoretically, that comes with it the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. There are no dangling carrots in the universe. So think about new passions and new ways for you to express yourself. Meanwhile, I love this. There's an opportunity for you between your fourth house of emotional security and your second house of money. So there could be a work at home opportunity. You also could find things in your home that you might want to sell, right? Fourth house, second house. But essentially, you're linking your sense of emotional security, fourth house, with your income. It could be a matter, honestly, of just relaxing more, taking care of yourself better, tapping into that divine mother. And then as a result, you're more nourished by the universe through income opportunities. So I think that's really nice, a fourth house transit for you. First house transit for you with that fourth house and second house sextile. So there's a wonderful link between your domestic life and your finances. So do whatever it is that you can to get nice and comfy and cozy at home. And you may also might have an opportunity to invest in real estate or buy a new place or spending some of your hard-earned money on making your home more comfortable, because you want your home to be really, really comfortable. And that's going to help you with all of your other goals, because your home is your emotional foundation. So investing in that is going to be advantageous for you. So let's see, Aquarius, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in your sign. Wisdom for Aquarius, wisdom for Aquarius, wisdom for Aquarius. Wisdom for Aquarius, wisdom for Aquarius, wisdom for Aquarius, wisdom for Aquarius. Healing. So you get the Temperance card. So the healing or Temperance card, in this deck, it's called healing. Temperance is a balance of patience, temperament, and tolerance. It's about finding the right combination of things to make you well or happy. So it's about balancing. You may need to temper something. If you've been going out all night, all week, maybe you need to stay home more. If you've been eating junk, maybe you need to balance it with healthy things. If you haven't been exercising, maybe you need to exercise. If you're working too hard, maybe you need to work less. But you got to find a balance. And you also want to incorporate new things into your life this new moon. They're going to add to your sense of wellness. Temperance card is a great card to get. It also is about maintaining the even flow of emotions from you, no matter what it is that you're feeling. You're feeling happy, you're feeling sad, you got to flow. You can't ground yourself to, I'm in a good mood if you're not in a good mood. So flow with your feelings and find those things that are going to make you well or happy. Oh, hermit mode? Are you in Aquarius on hermit mode? That's okay. Sonia, nice to see you. You're submitting for many auditions this week, taking a new class tomorrow, and you're writing a recipe book? Wow. So that's great. Sonia's an Aquarius for those that don't know. So this is a perfect opportunity for you, Sonia. All these new auditions, a new class, and a new book. That's really good. I think that's awesome. Definitely keep me updated as to how things go. Oh, and you're renovating your house right now? That's perfect. That's going to be really good for you. So happy new moon, Aquarius. That should be a lot of fun. And Pisces, last but never least, little fishies. So Pisces, you need to get your rest. Time for you to get under the covers, snug as a bug in a rug, and get your sleepies in, get your extra rest, because you have your birthday coming up. And you want to be all ready for that birthday. And you want to make the most of this solar return for you. So now is the time to rest and relax and take good care of yourself. And really look at how you can tap into some inner work and your spirituality, because that is going to really help you. I also would say this is a great time to really train your subconscious. What are you visualizing? What suggestions are you giving yourself, right? Don't give yourself the luxury of a negative thought this transit. Just visualize how you want things to go. And maybe even tell yourself, things are going great for me. Everything always works out for me. I love everyone and everyone loves me. Whatever it is that you want to be true, now is a really good time to plant those seeds. Visualize what you want. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want, because we get what we focus on. There's no other main rule. Meanwhile, there's a wonderful link between your third house of communication and your first house of self-assertion. So you could be really going out on a limb and asserting yourself in a different way now. And also, you might be asserting yourself in groups, right? Or in your community or with a sibling, but you're communicating in a very, very strong way. So speak your truth boldly. This could be you asserting yourself as a new person who does this. So with the first house, whatever you're saying, I am blank as a first house thing. With your third house, okay, well, what new things are you doing on a regular basis? How are you communicating differently based upon this new identity? And you want to think about, where do you want to be in 6 months, right? What do you want to be doing in August when you're preparing for the full moon in your sign? It should be a really interesting transit for you. I think the big thing is to just get as much rest as possible and keep playing over in your mind how you'd like things to be. It's also a really creative time for you too, that 12th house transit. So let's see, Pisces, what wisdom you get from the tarot. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom. 6 of Cups. I love it. So 6 of Cups is a really cool, the 6 of Cups is about simple, innocent pleasures, right? It could be about dating. It could be about doing a good turn for another. You water your friend's plants and he feeds your cat when you go away, doing those things, sharing the tokens of love. And it can be about love, but it can also be about friendships, innocence, right? And the 6 of Cups is also tied to the past. So I would say that you want to make a decision about the past with the 6 of Cups. Either you can utilize the past to create the future that you want. Maybe, for instance, it's an old project that you want to reinvigorate, or it could be a matter of something in the past does not need to be in your future and you need to close that door. But the 6 of Cups is one of the best cards of the deck. I would say that really what you want to do is really tap into what gives you pleasure, what makes you feel emotionally fulfilled, and flow with that. And that might be new communications with your neighbors or your siblings, or returning to a place, a short distance travel to a place that you once enjoyed. Maybe there's a cottage nearby that would be good for you, or some place that you can go on a regular basis that you've been to before. The 6th house is pretty cool. So happy new moon. And there we have it, folks. There we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today for your new moon in Aquarius, Tarotscopes and Horoscopes, for readings, one-on-one coaching, events, and classes. Well, check out my website, psychicsun.com. The link to that is in the description below. And if you are looking for a weekly class, well, join me on Thursday nights for Thursday Night Lights. We meet every single Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. There are various membership options, and it is gently priced. So check that out. The link to that is in my description below as well. So have a wonderful new moon in Aquarius, everybody, and I shall for sure see you soon. Take good care, and thank you so much for joining me live as well as watching the replay.